Hello, everybody. This is Mickey D bringing you Season 2, Episode 17 of Stationeers, and we are loading up right where we left off in the last episode. Nothing has changed except I have slept. And I have 2 cars in the shop. On a side note, I did get some information. And of course, it crashes. Actually, we can wait. It might recover. Maybe. It hasn't completely crashed. Usually it completely crashes. So, I guess I'll give it a minute and see if it recovers or not. Yeah, sometimes it seems like initially loading the world will just cause a crash. But it's always seemed to really kind of done. Oh, yep, it did come out of it. Very nice. I guess it was just tying up on the system for a little while. Okay, so we know that this is not really working. So we're going to ignore it for now. Yeah, those are good. Yeah, I'm not really... I'm wondering if maybe... Well, we could try just lighting the furnace and dumping some heat into the system. I mean, obviously, it's quite a bit warmer. It's having some effect, but... And we should be able to pull heat out of that. I mean, we're only at negative 41, so... Definitely be able to get some. And I've got a heater running in there. Not that we have a lot of atmosphere, but... yes. So we do gotta see. Mashta did send me one for this. We need a slightly different setup. An IC script, I guess I should say. So we might take a look at that. We're going to add a back pressure pump to it as well. Our back pressure regulator, which I didn't really want to do. I mean, I know we can do it with a regular logic circuit using just a volume pump and an analyzer. And I guess we can't pull pressures off of those. I guess they're not maybe still set up for logic. You can really just pull out if it's occupied, or you can read off of it, but it's not really set up for the logic, I guess. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to come out here, just turn on my light so we can see. And yeah, at some point I need to get... Yeah, we're at 8. So not too bad. Turn that off. Turn that one on. I'll let it pump up a little while. And we'll get... Oh, there we go. Ooh. You got nice and hot. And there is my phone. Hang on a second. Okay, I am back. Sorry about that. That was the phone call about my new start date on my new job, which is I got the official okay on yesterday, but my wife wrecked her car, so why did because we pumped everything out of there. I was like, why was there a yeah, we definitely want to pump that in because we're running all the heat. Yeah, I mean, it was pretty much a set thing since the beginning of January. It was just a matter of it's Stanley Black and Decker, so obviously, you know, U.S. but worldwide company. So of course, there's tons of bureaucratic red tape and whatnot to jump through. I guess as you want to call it, very corporate. Well, not I guess yes, very corporate, very procedures. So it was like a three. Well, it's been going basically big, like a 4 week background check. So I've basically just been sitting here waiting for them to finish all the stuff on their end. And but yes, I was supposed to start next Monday, which I found out yesterday, but that won't work because it's 3 hours away from my house, and I can't be 3 hours away from my house if my wife does not have a vehicle. So, yeah, we got to get her vehicle fixed, basically, before I can start. So, all right, hopefully we should have some more heat in there now. And, yeah, so, but they were really understanding about it. So they said, well, we can move it to the 4th. If the 4th doesn't work, we can move it to the 11th. And I said, okay. And I said, well, honestly, I'd really like to start on the 28th, but there's no way they're going to have, my wife's car fixed in half a week. I was like, now we're at 61 degrees. Really? Those are like almost reversed. Yeah, see, we're dumping heat back into it. Now we're at 61 degrees. How did that jump up so high? I mean, yeah, if the radiator's high, it shouldn't be transferring into the radiator, though. Yeah, you're set at 30. You shouldn't have, let any heat come through. Interesting thing would be to see is what the temperature is. So, yeah, we got to get a little regulation on the... which we had before on the first world, I should say. Oh, and of course, autosave. Yeah, we don't have that set up yet where we had the storage tank / radiator. And I think I don't want to do it on the storage tank this time. I think I want to do it on the radiator system side. I want to add a heating section into the radiator, basically, because we don't have like a greenhouse or something where we're going to be dumping a ton of heat out of, or pulling a ton of heat out of. So yeah, we're at 12:09. I'm going to turn that off for now. I don't think we're going to actually need that. And we will leave that in there at some point later on, but we're gonna automate it. I think just because it will help us kind of control. And the greenhouse obviously is kind of one of the more critical temperatures, since obviously we don't want to kill off our food, because then we'll just be ended up dumping, wasting, burning through all of our seeds. Yeah, so hopefully now that we've got 47, 60. Yeah, this should drop. I mean, it's not gonna maintain. It's gonna drop. because basically it's running it through the radiator system outside. Yeah, so that's dropping back down. So now we're on the opposite side. We have to wait for the drop down a little bit. But what I want to, and my jetpack's still on. What I want to do is out here on the radiator system, we're going to enclose part of it with wall heaters. And somewhere, I mean, obviously we'll have to figure out adequate sizing on it. But we'll enclose part of this, have some wall heaters in here, probably like somewhere on this side, since this is the side, you know, we don't want the sun coming down into here. And we'll let it heat up, and then we can either turn those wall heaters on or off, depending on, you know, how hot or cold the actual radiator system is. And that'll should let us maintain the radiator system more. It you know, warm enough that we can pull heat out of it, and cool enough that, you know, we can dump heat into it easy enough. And yeah, see, we can just shut that off because we know we've got enough heat into the radiator system. So oh, that's why it jumped up so high, because we're not set up, we don't have our holding tank like we did before. Maybe we do want to do that like we had it before. And that's the whole reason we had it before, is so the CO2, the O2, nitrogen, you know, would not kind of, yeah, see, that pipe's at 73 degrees right now. And of course it's dropping, but, and that tank's at 72 degrees. But that's why we had it set up that we did it in the last episode and not on the radiator system. So yeah, maybe we don't want it on the radiator system. Maybe we do want it on here, because the idea is to precondition it before it gets dumped into the system, so we don't get massive, you know, heat spikes in the tanks. So we will probably do that. And I think what we'll do is we'll build it up, and we can have the heaters on that side. Last time we had it down below just because it kind of worked out better that way. But since we're on the side of the building, we can actually mount heaters, you know, right on the side of the building, and that should work. And then how are we going to want to do... Yeah, we're going to have to change this setup in here a little bit. So we have the wall heaters up there. We'll enclose this, and then when we dump anything in, and we'll set it up like we did before, where we'll have a pipe analyzer, or we'll pull the temperature off the tank, actually. And if the temperature is above 20 degrees, it'll dump down into the radiator system. Oh, you know, that's what we did. We had heaters and wall chillers, or wall coolers, and then we just alternated which one. That's what was tied into the radiator system, was the wall coolers, because we just had a line of radiators down there separately. But we might just do, maybe we'll put some ACs on the back side, and then we can just set it to cool to like 20. And then it'll dump in, and then that way the CO2 will already be at like 20 degrees. We might just do it to question is it going to be better? It'd probably be better to dump it in at 30, and then we can cool the O2. That would actually probably be a lot better way to do it. If we dump everything in at like 30 degrees Celsius, which is kind of where we want our CO2 at, then the other systems are going to run. Well, you have more of a power draw because it's going to be running all the other ACs. But that would That way we would be dumping, the benefit of that would be we'd be dumping heat into the AC, the radiator system. So, and that's the issue really in the game right now is I really wish we had, except for a greenhouse, like which generates heat, obviously, or sunlight, you know, is the only other way. I mean, we don't really have a lot of ways of generating heat because these don't really generate heat. I mean, I wish, yeah, we have the wall units. I wish we had something that hooked onto like a pipe heater line that we could hook on and use it to just, increase the temperature in the pipes, kind of like how the radiators do. Just hook the radiators on, hook the pipes on, have them use the same amount of power as like a wall unit or something and, have it dump heat into the pipe system. That would kind of be, and that would be kind of realistic too. That's the one thing that the game is kind of really lacking is sometimes, generating the heat you need gets to be kind of difficult. It doesn't always seem to really work out. But it's definitely cooling stuff is usually not a problem. It's heating stuff that is. So I think we do have some atmospherics. We've got some, that's pretty much what we're going to work on this episode. We've got to get that system up and running. Because right now the focus obviously is getting the greenhouses up and running. And we have an atmospherics. Oh, somebody made a logic switch. Okay. And then we're going to need, we're going to need quite a few steel frames. And we're going to go ahead and pull out the e-reader because we don't need that. We're going to need steel sheets. Oh, and we should have some cabling on us. We do, but why are those not? There we go. Thank you. Hey, cereal bar. Very nice. Let's remember that's there. And we will need some pipes. But not yet. We do need... I'm going to do a couple of atmospherics. Because we want this to be relatively responsive, or not atmospherics. We're going to do a couple of ACs. We want this to be kind of... we want to be kind of responsive. Can we stack those? No, we can't. So I don't want to go, I don't want to sit there and, I want to have the system designed so that, it'll work pretty quickly, I guess. Five, 4, okay. And what we're going to do is close that in. You will just come all the way across the back. And then we're going to use walls. So we could probably use walls on this. We don't really need, because we're going to want to leave that exposed. So I think this will work pretty good. We'll get these done in enough that we can... Yeah, and then we can run a circuit down if we need to. And I don't know if there's I really got to learn the scripting. So yeah, we want an air conditioner. what is it? Output side, waste. So I guess technically that's our air conditioner line there. Right there. Or our radiator line. So we definitely want the waste line to come into that. We're gonna have to we might end up moving that volume pump too. I might want that volume pump actually. Well, we're controlling it from this right now. That's another thing we gotta do is the smeltery. I was kind of hoping to focus more on that today, but that's the line there. Which that's the main line. So maybe what we'll do is we'll put the valve here, and then it can recirculate until it's cooled off. Yeah, I think we'll do that. I think that'll work pretty well. And yeah, we're gonna have basically output from one go into the input on the other. And yeah, we only really need a tank. Yeah, we just need one pipe section in between. And then our waste will tie together, and then those can go into, well, they can just come right down and go into the radiator system. So that should actually work. I'm going to leave pipes, I'm going to leave that there. And is it me, or does the jetpack last way, way longer than it used to? So we need some pipes. I'm going to make more wall kits. Kit wall, there it is. Look, these are quick. And let's make more plastic sheets, because I think we were like down to one plastic sheet as well. So we're going to need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 22 walls, 22, and 44 plastic sheets, because it's double plastic sheets, I do believe. I think it's 2 per wall section. I think these just stack to 32, or 30. We shall see. All right, and then what I'm gonna need for, we get the volume pump, we can make it, let's make a note. So I think this is where we're gonna want a digital valve. I don't think we have not made, oh, we need NVAR. All right, yeah. Which we are going to want. Unless we could do it, we could do the cheaty way right now and just use a volume pump and then just set it to 0. I mean, that's basically Oh, it looks like we got an autosave. I mean, basically you set a volume pump or a back pressure pump to 0 or shut it off and it just stops it. So digital valves are kind of, and there might be a benefit of having that too, because then we could rapidly dump out into the system. Yeah, we might do it that way. That might actually work out pretty good. We ran out of something. Steel. Which I don't think we're out, I think we're out of steel. 16. What did I say? We need like 24. I think we've actually got to go and do some. There we go. I might not have to go, because we can put them on. I think we can still put them on that wall. We might not have to go. We might be fine on that. I don't think we actually have to go 3 tall. Wait, where is that? Oh, it's yeah, it's placing it in the great. Yeah, I think we can do it that way because that should still give us enough room to put wall heaters in there. Though, oops. Yeah, I'm not sure if we want to do that. We may. I think that's the issue we ran into last time. Is it's a lot faster if we pump it in through the radiators than it is if we. Yeah, that's probably why we're going to want it 3. Because I believe it was a lot faster to pump it in with the radiators than it was to try to heat the tank itself. So yeah, we are going to probably want that, the 3 tall. Well, actually, maybe not. I don't know. Let's try 2 tall because we might be able to get enough radiators and stuff in there. And let's see. We're going to want 1 pipe connecting these. Oh, actually, we don't need to do the radiator. That's right. We're using these. Yeah, I want to try not to use the radiators. I want to see if that works. That's right. I'm thinking of the old style, or the style we did last time. So really, I'm going to do that. That's going to go down to the radiator. This is going to go to the output, which is going to return to the tank system, which is fine. This can circulate because we don't care. Pollution can get dumped into the radiator system. We don't care about that. That can cool off. And then, yeah, we can let this run. This can still pull in from atmosphere from outside. Yeah, that'll work. That will work. I think I'm going to have to go grab some more pipe too. Well, I'm definitely going to have to grab more pipe. And yeah, we'll do a T-junction there. Yeah, so we should be able to make that 2. No, actually, I'm not going to put all those. I'm not going to put the. Oh, great, we have exactly enough. I'm going to set them. I'll leave them over here. We're not going to put those in right now because if I need to get in there, I don't think we can pass through those. Yeah, we can't pass through them. So unless maybe, oh, kind of, but yeah, we'll just leave it open for now. It'll be easier. We need more pipes. 20 might be enough. And I think we do got more pipes over there as well. All right, so this. Yeah, I think I want to do it that way. That way the input from this one is feeding into this one because they don't drop down all the way, especially if it's a big temperature change. They can't, it's, they only, yeah, that's the right line. They can only cool so much at once. I kind of wish they actually just, worked. I mean, I guess they do work slower if it's a big temperature because it's trying to cool it. But I kind of wish they just, the machine would not output until it was at that temperature. But instead, it will, if it comes in at 600 degrees, and it might leave here at, 550, and then it might leave this one at 500. But it's going to come back through, circulate back through, come out of here at 450, 400, circulate back through, and keep doing that. And if we need to, we can always expand this to put more in if we're finding it's not responsive enough, basically. And I don't know if I can actually get in there. Actually, we can do it up this way. That'll work. And then there's our radiator line. And yeah, T-junction, turn that way. And the question is if we can... Oh, I saw it there a minute ago. There we go. And come on. Come on. Thank you. Okay. Yeah, I'm thinking this way might work out a bit better than the way we're doing it before. Though we are going to have to keep an eye on our power draw because we're getting more and more AC set up, and eventually these are going to need to be on their own circuit with heavy line running to them. And I am going to actually want these. Eventually, all these are going to be filled in on this.
Power low.
But since that's the beginning of the row, we might come down to, and actually, we're probably going to come off of there. Can I? Oh, it will let me. Very nice. I do like that it does that. It doesn't, it doesn't do it as a, you're not colliding with the wall because there's nothing there. Okay, yeah, because we're definitely going to need that tank empty. Okay, and we actually don't need a circuit for that unless we want to power them on or off just to save on power. And we can continue off. Let me see there. Yeah, and we can run the power line up over that way. That should work. And then what we're going to do is, since we're going to go ahead and we're going to need it, we're going to tie in for the sensor. That way we can read the tank temperature. Oop. Oh, yeah, almost missed that one. Yeah, hopefully we'll find out if we blow any circuits when we hook everything back up. And let's see, what is iron and nickel is Invar. So we'll see if we can make that or not. If we've got the resources for it. Definitely got to do a mining run here at some point. And I can go ahead and turn those on. Those should be running. Yes. Just let them go ahead and run for now. Oh. And this is where we need to add the part that we don't have on our system currently, is we have no purges for our tanks. So we need to add a valve in there. Yeah, so see, this is, oh, that's the world. Negative 13.7. And right now it's just pollution and nitrogen. Which is not a lot, but why do we have nitrogen in there? If our nitrogen filters are shot. I don't know why it hasn't pulled that out. And then, yeah, see, we're 0.8, 0.7. Yeah, we're not going to have a lot in that. That's the thing with the radiator system. And obviously, it's pulling the heat out, trying to heat those up. But that is part of it. Yeah, is that going to work? We still might want a section on the, so yeah, then we could still do wall units with the radiators. And that can be a whole separate, that can be its own circuit where it'll keep the radiator system from getting too cold. And then what we'll do is we got to find a spot to isolate that. Which we might be all right. I guess it depends on how often we're smelting stuff and pumping heat into it. I mean, before we used to have the greenhouse was pumping stuff in constantly, so it kind of kept the radiator system from getting too cold. And this is where I kind of wish I started color coding stuff. Fuel, oxygen, and that's our main line. So we're going to want to isolate it. Actually, we can isolate it right there. That way it'll be easily accessible if we have to manually overwrite it. And for now, let's see if we can make INVAR. If we make INVAR, we'll do a digital pump. If we can't make INVAR, which we got plenty of pipes. If we can't make INVAR, then we can do it with a volume pump for now. Yeah, that's running to our main line. That's our main line coming in, which is where we actually really want to pull from anyway. Yeah, I just don't see why it wasn't pulling the nitrogen out. Because it should be. Oh, and looks like another autosave. Alright, let's see. Parts everywhere, parts everywhere. You know, what is it, like the last 6 episodes we've been working on basically just getting this stuff going so we could do the get the automated greenhouses up and running. Oh, the end is in sight though. Iron, lead, iron, reagent. Nickel. Okay, we do have some nickel. And we do have, obviously, iron. Oh, we've only got, oh, that's... Well, I guess we can leave a pipe there. And somebody will come along later on and go, why is there a pipe with all the ores? Oh, that's right. We've got to get it up to temperature first. invar, we want about 6,000 kPa and no more than 2,000 Kelvin. All right. Watch, I'm going to end up putting my tablet in there when I do this. And what is up with my displays? Why are they all showing at the bottom? They're, okay, okay, now you're not doing it. Oh, no, yep, yeah, look at that. They're like stacking on top of each other on some of them. That's annoying. Yeah. This is, we get the food going. The automation on the furnace is like the next, or yeah, the furnace is our next priority. We've got 6.3 kPa or MPa in there, so we're good. I should throw up. It's not powered on. It doesn't have power, so it's not going to tell us. Oh, hang on. I will be right back.
Pressure critical. Temperature critical. High pressure. Temperature high.
Okay. Oh, man. Trying to deal with my wife's car being repaired. All right. I am back. Hopefully, no more calls for now. All right. We got to get the pressure up higher. We need to be quite a bit higher, actually. I'm surprised. I tried to drain it and it relit. We're actually in the pressure range we need to be. We need to be at... Oh, not... There we go. Lovely. And then we're going to let that dump back in to the system, which should give us plenty of heat. Yeah, well, that'll definitely heat up our radiator system. Now, this is already isolated now, though. So that's good. It's not going to dump all the heat back into where our pipes are. Of course, our radiator system is going to be quite warm, except we actually have this volume pump off. So we're going to want that on. Yeah, we're going to have to change that or set that up to be automatic. A digital valve right there. Yeah, because we're 300 on that side, and it's 10 or 6. Yeah, see, that's our radiator. Or not there. Come on. Yeah, 12 degrees on that side, which is the radiator, and this is before the radiator. I still don't see why we're getting some CO2 in there. It must be, no, because it's before, it's after the pollution filters. Yeah, we should be, yes. But we do have to set up a purge system at some point, and then that way we can, get some of our system. Luckily, nothing else is really, contaminated. Which we don't really care if the pollution's contaminated, the radiator system's contaminated. I know what it is when we started it up, we didn't have enough pressure in the line, so it dumped some of the CO2 in there. And, you know, we have a really actually easy way now that we have this set up. We could put a bypass valve in here. And then if we need to recirculate, we can let it recirculate through the system. So that would work. That'll be a very easy. Yeah, I mean, it works out because, basically they act as a giant pressure tank. So, you just have to, depending on which side you're pulling in and coming out, it's actually not too bad. I mean, it works, yeah, but... technically, we could always make one because you can hook into a tank and you could have either a volume pump or a back pressure regulator, something, and then that would basically give you, if you have volume pump, there's a, inlet, outlet sort of thing, but you don't really need them in most cases. As long as you can just shut off the system. And why do we have so many gases escaping from back here? What is going on? Unless that's just... what? I mean, it's something with the furnace, but there shouldn't really be... any gases.
Health low.
I mean, obviously we're getting heat off of it, but there shouldn't be any gases being released. Where are we at? 603, 602. Yeah, see the temperature's steadily dropping on it. And we're getting a pretty clean burn. We only have 1%. Oh, that's... oh, the night. Oh, so you can generate. Okay, so we have to hook up We don't care about health. Um, yeah, I'll eat. I need to change my battery as well. So we are getting nitrous oxide in. I'm just trying to figure out where all this outgassing is coming off of. I mean, that's pipe disconnected, but those always act as a solid end. And it seems like it's coming, and those are, oh wait. Yeah, no, those are inputs. That's where it's pulling in from. Huh. Yeah, I don't get it. It's maybe it's just because maybe it's showing thermals. Okay, here we will eat. I still have 62% health. We're doing all right. And since we're over here, we'll grab that. There. 5, and we need to change our battery. And now we can make our digital valves, which we're going to want 2. We'll make 2 for now. I think that's all we need. All right. And what we're going to want to do is, yeah, I keep forgetting we can't really go in that way. I used to have that one doorway open, which we no longer do. Okay, digital valve. And power. And an autosave. Always the autosaves. So do the furnaces relight now? Because I noticed when I put more gas in, it basically relit. And they used to not do that. So that's very convenient if you want to do like batches. Okay, let's drop for now. Because, we like throwing stuff all over the place. We're going to so overwhelm a circuit here soon. I just know it. Okay. But yeah, it did, but they used to not relight. So even if you had heat, it wouldn't, you would add increased pressure, but it wouldn't increase, it wouldn't reburn it. It wouldn't burn the newly added gases. And, oh, maybe I did just increase pressure. I don't know. I'll have to keep an eye on it. Maybe it's still the same thing, because we did increase the pressure. Because really, if you add more gas, at least how it used to be, it was obviously you would increase the pressure in the furnace, but the temperature would drop because you're adding a cold gas into it. Um, and I think now that I think about it, I think that's actually what was going on, because it didn't seem like the temperature jumped. Oh, maybe it did, because we had it pretty much emptied. Yeah, I'll have to mess around with that a little bit more, because that gives us a few options, especially if we want to do large batches where we wouldn't have to like completely flush in between, you know. Or you could do something that was a lower pressure, lower temperature, add more gas, and not have to flush out in between, so you could it would basically ignite it. But so 350 degrees on that side, -9 on that side. And then we were at, see, yep. Oh, yeah, and because we messed with the network, it dropped it off. So 54, 49. Which, strangely enough, well, no, because the radiator system is big enough that it's going to drop the temperature. Because it's cooling off faster than this can dump heat into it, basically. Because that's 54.5, and it should slowly... I wish they showed you farther out, because you don't really get to see. And how do we have O2 in there? Where is this contamination coming from? We're definitely going to have to add a purge system in, which is fine. We basically just have to have a valve coming here so we can bypass the filter. And then what you do is just let it pump out. It'll drain it back into the system, and then it can, once you have this empty, you can pump it back in. But yeah, the CO2, I don't know where we're getting the O2 in there. We shouldn't have any O2 in there. Yeah, that's pure hydrogen, pure oxygen, pure nitrogen, pure water. Okay. Now, we got the digital valve, and we're going to need to set up a circuit, so we need a reader for the tank. Actually, I should see if there's any, let's see if we got any scripts that are already made, and then we can use that. Not that we've had a lot of luck finding temperature. I spelled temperature wrong, didn't I? I did. Let's try temp. I still don't know if it's if it searches partial word or not. Room temp control, room temp, IC temp, pressure and oxygen regulator, autofill flush, greenhouse controller, heating, cooling, O2, high temp alert, room pressure, no. Temp. Oh. At sure. Ah, really? Temperature reader, temperature regulator. Ooh. Furnace temperature, temperature purge and display, proportional AC. Why use one wall cooler when you could use 5? Nice. Hard suit helmet, easy greenhouse. Yeah, I mean, it's the same thing. You know, you get a lot of people that, well, I think a lot of people, for one, are just not, you know, into the programming thing. I mean, it's a great concept and you can do a lot to it, but it's like you get the niche crowd basically that does it and learns it. You know, so, and you'll see like a lot of these, you know, is the same, obviously, Sedamo, we'll just call him D Beers. You know, he's got a lot of stuff up, you know, and you'll see a lot of people, the same people putting the same, you know, A posts. He's got a lot of stuff up. Room temperature, I don't want. Controls temperature between 20 30. Cooler heater stays on until 25. That's for like a room temperature again. But we're looking for we might be able to, and we haven't had luck with it before, but temperature and P purge. Well, that doesn't tell me. Oh, that's for an automated furnace. Okay. Yeah, I think he's got a whole bunch of. You got a tank and auto mixer, atmospheric, moles, quantity, pipe pressurizer. Basically, we want a pipe or tank temperature control. We know those don't work because that's for like a whole. That one actually might come in handy later on. Yeah, that's to keep it set. Oh, we might actually be able to use that for the canister. But then we have to use two. And it might not be set up. Yeah, these are, well, for one, not in English. But tank and filtration. Hmm. Can turn off when the tank reaches venting, turns on the bypass valve to prevent pressure buildup. Yeah, but we're doing big tanks, so we don't got to worry about that. That's not going to help us. All right, well, we can do it with a logic circuit for now. We need readers, writers. Basically, yeah, we just need a reader. And a memory. A reader, a writer, and a memory, I think, is all we need. And did I pick up circuits somewhere and leave them somewhere? Because I thought we had a few parts. No, I guess not. I may have used them. I thought we had a few more. I thought we had some I.O. parts. Maybe we've already used them up. I used a batch writer. And we can't actually get out over there. I still want to open that up, but it's full of pipes, so we can't get out over there either. Oh, he may have actually used them all. I can't remember if we brought... No, we did not. We just have the walls and the steel plates. Which reminds me, we do need to make plastic as well, but not huge priority right now. So we need, unless they were in, no. Oh, we have 7 plastic sheets. I think that'll give us a start. No, we've got a switch. Yeah, I think he used, and then we just had the logic was left over. Yeah, okay. So we need to make, which hopefully we have enough for. I think we just need 2. And 2. Yeah, I think that's all we need. Oh, we already have the labeler on us. Okay. And then we will... Oh, our pollution filters are shot. Alright, well, we definitely need that working. Otherwise, that's going to basically just sit in the tank. All right, let's go make a couple of pollution filters real quick. Yeah, they do. I did find a script, if it works, to monitor the filters. I think it monitors you know, the status on the filters, so we can have a board that'll let us know. That way, we'll be able to see when one filter runs out. We can go ahead and make another filter and then keep a rolling. You know, it is nice that if you put two in there, it'll use one at a time. So it's half as often is what we would normally have to do to replace the filters. Or it lets us go twice as long without having to replace the filters. Okay. Now we should see, 99%. 218 degrees. Yeah, I know, but we don't have the resources to make the heavy filters. Otherwise, yes, we would be making them. I tried to do that when we did the last batch, and yeah, because it takes some more of the alloys, which we are really short on right now. And some of the alloys we don't have. We haven't made Constantine, and I just made the Invar. So, yeah, that is definitely cooling. And what we will do is... where did I drop those circuits? Over here. Yeah, and this actually needs to be changed to a digital valve as well. Oh, yeah, we're going to need a... I gotta figure out that one. No, we do want a pump there. We want a pump and a valve. I wish we had like a check valve. I mean, yeah, you can do it with like a pressure regulator, and it'd be nice if there was like an actual check valve block though. All right, so we're gonna do a memory, and then we're gonna want a logic reader and a logic writer. Yeah, I think they would definitely come in handy. Okay, I think that's all we should need on that. And then what we're going to want to do is, I believe we have a connection on that side. And should be able to do there. There. You guys can probably hear my dog barking, which is outside. Actually, it's my wife's dog. I guess it's both of ours, but it's hers. Okay, now 6-4 labeler. So we're going to call this our waste tank. Hey, Mr. Montuke, how you doing? We're going to call this temp setting, and we're going to say temp reading. You're not late. It's fine. And then waste valve. Writer. And oh, we could actually. I just noticed that. I've been walking all the way around. I didn't realize I could go around this opening. Okay. And I think that is it. I did turn that off, right? No, I did not turn that off. So, what we want to do, if this should work right, we're going to set that to not that high. You're going to give me increments of 10.
Hunger. Caution.
Okay, 30. We are going to read the waste tank temperature. Waste tank temperature. Hey, Tommy, welcome back. So 446 degrees Celsius. And oh, you know what? I screwed up, didn't I? We got to do logic writer. Yeah, where's that processor? Did we not pick up the processor? I'm going to add a processor in because we've got to do a compare if the temperature is greater than 30. Or actually, we do greater than or equal to. But then this is going to go out to the waste valve. And then either on, and then, yeah, and we need to do a compare to that. So, yes, we forgot to compare, or the actual math part of it. Oh, don't slam into that too hard. Which I do think we have a processor, so yes. We don't really need 4, but that's all right. And I don't think we want to do a min-max. I think we want to do a select. And here's where I get really confused, because the selects always screw me up. Always. I don't think I've ever done one correctly the first time. And I know they have... Or actually, we want to do a compare, don't we? Yes, we want to do compare. Yeah, the selects we only need to do if we're... if we are switching, making it conditional. And since I'm doing this, we're probably going to have to go straighten out our, we have to go turn our AC back on because it's going to be shutting off since this is on the same circuit, which is, I really wish they would, I mean, I guess it's kind of a limitation. So we're going to do, could we actually have just done off of the tank and not even done our reader? I don't think this would... No, yeah, we have to do a reader because we have to specify that it's the waste tank. Yeah, so that's, can you get that? And then it's comparing the temp setting is greater than, is actually less. Do we have a less than and equals? I don't think we have a less than. Not equals, less than, greater. Not equals, yeah, we'll have to do less. So if the temp reading is less than we will say 31, because it's set to run to 30, we'll give a little bit of a buffer. Oh, but we need that in Kelvin, don't we? So it's 290. It's 304. I think it's 304 is what we want to see. Yes, because we're reading 4. I do believe we want that in Kelvin. And what is up with that? That is so annoying. Yeah, so 142 because it's reading 414. Yes. So yeah, when that hits 304, so we want to add another. We just want to add another 4, 6. Yeah, 1 degree. So basically like 31 degrees Celsius. Yes, and let's compare. So there is less. So if this is less than this, then it's going to output a 1. And then we're going to have this read our logic compare. Logic compare and digital pump. The waste pump is on. And right now, obviously, it's off. So once our temperature drops in the waste tank, it will open up the circuit and let it coming in at 30 degrees. And then all of our other filters can pull it into the system. Now, we do at some point, which we're not going to do right now, we need to, and I need to do this too. And we actually don't need. You know what? I think I'm actually just going to get rid of that. The only reason we had that is because we didn't have enough really materials. It was to bump up the pressure in there. So we could actually just try removing that for now. Get. Okay. One dog goes off, they all go off. Jace! My wife's other dog. My dog's quiet. As a dog should be. Okay. What do we got for... Yeah, which one of those am I supposed to be reading? I'm going to have to do a restart in between episodes and see if that... So 275 kPa, that's fine. I mean, that's as long as we're up above 100, we should be okay. I usually like to keep it around 1 MPa, but we do not have that much pollution just yet. And we do got to turn on our CO2 tank again. or CO2, which should be coming in pretty much. Now, so 10 degrees, very nice. That's going to match 52. Yeah, it's going to have to run for a little bit while, but we're getting down there. We're almost at the point. We should be actually probably be at the point where we could run the hydroponics and it would not kill it. I mean, 52 is a little bit on the high side, but we could just let it run for a little bit longer and we should be all right. And those fans seem like they just spin way too slow. Yeah, and as soon as this, yeah, 129, as soon as it gets down to 30 degrees, it's going to open up and then let everything dump into the system. And the idea being is that once the base is pressurized and at a steady temperature of 20 degrees, the tanks are going to basically be warmed up to 20 degrees. You know, that it'll balance out. The temperature will balance out between the base atmosphere and the tank atmosphere, and then these will just kind of maintain it, and it will, the stuff that's coming in at 30 degrees, it's just going to dump, you know, the ACs will run a little bit to drop that. This one, you know, obviously is going to be coming at 30 degrees, and then we're just going to have to try to maintain that at 30 degrees. And that's why it's enclosed, because it's going to be about 10 degrees Celsius warmer than what the base is. And what we'll end up doing is pressurizing that and getting it up to temperature in there. And maybe we do have the wall heater in there. We'll end up putting it on and letting it maintain that 30 degrees in there. Should hopefully be easy enough to maintain. Should being the relative word or the important word there. And we just got to put our plastic around. We've got stuff everywhere. We got to put our, and autosave. We got to put the plastic around the tank. And then that should, which will help it regulate the temperature more evenly. Though it shouldn't, honestly, it shouldn't be that big of an issue, since pretty much as soon as this hits 30 degrees Celsius, it's going to dump it into, you know, it's going to dump it into the system. And I just have to make sure, did we? No, because, yeah, it bends and it goes back. I was trying to make sure if I keep thinking there's a tie-in over here, but yeah, it's not. It bends. Yeah, and goes back, and that's where we're tying into the digital, with the digital valve. So, yeah, I just want to make sure we weren't going into the system somewhere else. Yeah. And at one point, all the waste pipes will be painted black, so we will know. We might actually leave them yellow, just because that's kind of like the default color. And we can color the other pipes. Maybe we'll paint the radiator pipes black. We'll see. All right, yeah, and we'll clean up that line later on. All right, well, we're going to call this good for this episode. I'm going to go top off my coffee, and then we will be back with the next episode where we will carry on with more stuff. And hopefully with a lot less distractions. But I am, at some point, I should probably actually within the next hour or so get a call back about my wife's car before they close, because they did guarantee me this morning that they were going to look at it, and I will have price and time frame quote. So, all right. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed it. And yeah, we will pick back up in the next episode. We'll see how this runs. I'll let it idle between time between the episodes, which should not be that long. I am going to go ahead and eat some food, though, because otherwise I'll probably come back and be dead. Yeah. So I will see you guys next episode. Hope you guys enjoyed it.